fun topic today. Joining us, we have a special guest. Our friend Adrian's here, and he's Mr. Beauty and Style. And of course, Karina and the ladies are taking they show off. They have some personal things, but we're here, right?
Absolutely.
And we're going to talk beauty, especially hair.
Yes.
And hair is a big thing. We don't think about it, but it is.
I feel like hair makes you or breaks you.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever met someone, and Adrian as well, for all of us, have you ever met someone and their hair's still stuck in the 90s? Because we all had our hair from the 90s, and I feel like every decade you have to upgrade. And there's people, like if you don't upgrade your hair, it ages you. True or not true?
That is true. Especially if it's a hairstyle that's really just stuck. Like that hairstyle that was a trend, not the hairstyle that you created for yourself in the 90s, the hairstyle you decided to try because it was popular in the 90s. So it kind of phases you. It's you there.
Right. And even if it's like, let's say you have your own hairstyle, you still have to update it, like modernize it.
That's right, yeah.
Like, let's talk like Liz Serena. And I'm not a big Real Housewife, but we all know her classic haircut.
Right.
But you have to update it with the decades, don't you think?
Yeah, and she always will change like a little bit of her color. It'll be lighter or darker, and she'll make it a little bit spikier and a little bit messier. And sometimes, like you said, it's still her. You know, it's Lisa Rinna's hair, but she changes it a little bit.
A tiny
Just
little.
a tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit, update it. Yeah. What do you think, Karina? Like people who you see, like if they just updated their hair.
You know,
And we don't want to rag on anyone,
but yeah, like sometimes I'm like, if she let me do this. But then I feel bad because then I'm sure a lot of people would say the same thing about me.
No, you always look fabulous. And I'm going to tell you, Karina always looks fabulous.
So, but thank you.
Look what she's wearing today.
You-
Pick up your shoes. Karina always looks and matches everything.
You guys,
And just, you have to show real quick. I know we're talking about hair and beauty, but this ties into it. Show them how your fabulous tights. Just stand up real quick. Look at this. You'll zoom into that, right, Joe? We'll tell our camera guy. We're gonna do a little zoom of that. We get some video of that. Those are fabulous. Always, Karina looks fabulous.
Thank you.
you guys both always show.
But I feel like you
Yes.
always do, like, I mean, with your style, but you have to update. Like, listen, we all had blonde hair. I used to have the short hair. But
you've always done really good, different
Hairstyles,
I feel like
yeah.
short, like super short,
Yeah, I
and
had
then like
super short hair.
mid-size, long. Like you were.
I had
one
short,
person
when we
that
were in
can pull
college,
every single.
I had short, like, boy hair.
You're kidding.
And
No.
it looked amazing.
No.
She did it really. She could.
In my
do it
20s,
all.
I had short hair. And
Yeah.
then now that I'm
Wow.
older, I'm afraid to, like, you know, shorts in right now, everybody's going like this.
Yes.
And I love it. It looks so good.
Yes.
However, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no.
Tell me why. Tell us why. Yes or why not?
So here's the thing. There's only 2 times that I'll refuse to do things to people's hair.
Okay.
One of them is when people tell me, I want to do this because everybody's doing it.
Okay.
It's like, how about you just create your own trend?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
it becomes like,
That's right.
we all have that one friend that you can look back at. It's like, oh, she had blonde hair for a year and then she went red and then she had dark hair and it's her and it feels really cool. It's almost like people can characterize your stage of your life with your hair.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, oh, remember during that year we all had the same haircut. It's like we all had short hair. That's the first instance in which I don't cut someone's hair. The second is when they say, well, I feel like I need short hair now because I'm getting older.
Oh,
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
No.
Yes, that's
That
a big
is-
one.
Terrible.
That is an
That's a
old
big
school
one.
rule. It's a
Yeah.
big one. Eso se decía antes that after 40 you have to cut your hair.
Yeah.
No. Talk about that.
So it really bothers me first when somebody feels like because they turned a certain age, then they have to change everything, the way they dress, the way they do their hair, it's like, no, I'm not going to cut your hair based on an idea that was imprinted onto you of having short hair because you're older.
Yeah.
It's like I have some of my most beautiful clients are older ladies and they have extensions and they have long hair and they love to have big hair and they look fabulous.
Yeah.
And
I agree. Yeah.
not to say that there's some older ladies that look incredible with short hair.
Yes.
It makes them look younger. So like I said,
It depends on the person.
It's just finding what's
But
you.
just because you age doesn't mean you have to go for it. Like, I'm old now, I have to cut my hair. No.
No.
And
So we
go
were
ahead.
talking about it, and Patty's like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "Look at Demi Moore." Her hair is
Right,
like,
down
Yeah.
here.
and she looks fabulous.
She looks
I,
fabulous.
I get it. I'm not Demi Moore, but
No,
but
well, there I was when I was at the hairdresser, and Adrian styles my hair. I have another hairdresser, but you've styled
Yes.
our hair.
Yes.
And I was at a hair salon at my hair salon. Shout out to Osman. I was at my hairdresser's, and he was playing the Real Housewives, and I noticed that the ones that had it super long looked old, and the ones
Okay.
that had it up to here. So then right away I was like, oh, I don't want to go too long. But I think if it's done right, like this is long for me, but I'm like, they're new. And I have
looks like-
extensions. I have extensions
Yes.
because for the fullness. But I used to be one of those that when I was on the news, we had the short anchor hair.
Yeah.
Right? And they made us keep it short. At least for us, they did. Not so much on the Spanish TV.
No, yeah, absolutely, yes.
We
used
have
to
that
to
anchor
have
hair.
it, yes,
wow.
clavicle length.
Yes, they made us like
Yes.
if it
You're
got too
kidding.
long. No. And so I look back on my TV news days y traíamos like old lady hair. And then now, I mean, I kind of like it that we can change it. Right here is good, but this is a good length too.
Yeah.
It's a great length.
And you
I
put-
think it looks fabulous. Yes.
And I mean the same thing. Like as long as it looks up to date. But you said one key thing. Who says who? Just because everyone's
Right.
doing it, I can wear whatever I want, and it's my own style. And if I like, I'm also at the point where if I like it, I don't give a
Exactly.
fluff what anyone says.
And we've all met those ladies
Yeah.
we think are so cool and we look up to them.
Yeah.
'Cause you're like, oh my goodness.
And that
she's
being said,
80.
let me flash my new flavor slime here. No, I'm kidding. And they are extensions, but I mean for fullness.
Right. But how cool is it to live in a day and time that if one day you want to have long hair, you can. And if you want to have short hair the next day, you can. And it's just, you can go back and
Absolutely.
forth. And it's
So last year,
It's great.
Going.
Oh, that's
to
right.
that
You cut
point,
it last year.
Last year, I was like, we started the year, and I was like, I want to change, and I cut it, and I loved it.
It looks so
Yeah.
pretty.
I felt.
Did you have the extensions in when you had it short?
I did. I need the
For fullness.
The fullness. So, but it was short, and it was
looked pretty.
fun.
It was like up to here.
And then I changed my extensions, and I felt that cutting them again. So I went back to long, and I loved it. But it's fun to be able to change.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
I've had dark, like not black, but close, like really dark. And then I've done blonde, but I've never done red.
Yeah.
I think you would look good
I
in red.
did red when
I've
I was
never
in
done
my
red. I don't-
20s for a little bit. And then
Okay.
I thought, like I liked it, but it's one of those that it's a hard color to keep because then it starts to fade to a brassy. And then now I've just stuck with a blonde, like different shades of blonde. I go
Right.
blonder, I go darker. I like to keep the brown. I've been bleach.
I love
and
it.
it washes me out.
Yeah.
And I can show you pictures. So I like with the brown with some of my root in
Some
there.
dimension.
But it's good to change.
Yeah.
And I think people have never tried. I used to be afraid of extensions until I tried them. And there's all kinds. And they don't ruin your hair if they're done right. And if you take care of them, they don't ruin your hair. My hair has
Right.
grown with them because you're not washing every day. You're not styling every day. I mean, tell us. Here I am. I'm not the hairdresser.
No,
Yeah.
it's
but
true.
talk about that.
How many types of extensions do we have?
Oh gosh,
That we can
there's
try.
So many. I mean, there's like sewn-in wefts, there's tapes, there's beats, there's keratin bonds,
That's keratin bonds. Yeah.
there's people even doing things with like UV light that
Yeah,
will
that's
cure
right.
the bond, and so it's almost invisible. So sort of like what they do to your nails, or
Yeah.
and it's just I always tell people because the first idea they think is it's going to ruin my hair. I had a friend ripped off all of her hair, and it's just like everything else. I mean, you have friends that get highlights and their hair gets burnt off.
Yeah.
So it's if there's somebody doing it and that's what they're good at, like you know what it's like. It's like somebody's great at doing your color and somebody else might be great at doing your extensions.
That's
so
right.
you go to everybody's forte. So if somebody's great at doing your extensions, your hair's not going to be ruined. Actually, I find that sometimes people's hair gets healthier
That's right.
and it grows. And so sometimes I use extensions as a form of not so much a permanent fix, but just let's do this. It'll help your hair grow, and then eventually, and then you guys never want to take them out because you just fell in love with them.
Yeah.
Even though your hair's already as long as you wanted to, you're like, no.
Well, you get like the fullness, like we were
you
saying.
get the fullness,
Yeah.
and it's easier to style. Believe it or
It
not,
is,
yes.
and the
I agree.
style stays. It lasts longer.
Longer,
Like
yes.
like your hair's curled today.
Yes.
So how do you sleep in it? What do you do to sleep in it?
I do two things. Either I just grab a little ponytail on the bottom, or I do a ponytail on the on the top.
I would do like a loose chongo, but it was pulling from down here. Now I've been doing a braid or something loose, like you said, here. And then the
Yeah.
next day, the curl stays, and you just curl it. Like the style stays for like 4 or 5 days. A little
Yes.
dry
Right.
shampoo.
And
I
ready
can
to
make
go.
it last. Listen, I can make this last a good 5-6 days.
Yes, it's awesome.
And not in the summer.
Yeah.
If it's sweaty and sucio, listen, even then I'd gotten away with it. I'm like, oh, it looks good.
It even holds the style a little longer.
It does, but they are extensions.
Yeah,
or
there's like those certain hairstyles you can only do when your hair's a little dirty.
Right?
Otherwise
Yes.
it doesn't
True.
hold.
Absolutely.
It's true. There's I so believe in them now, and I even say like when I die, somebody's
I'm
gonna
gonna
come
be
do my
buried with them.
extensions. Yes, like I want it down to here. Así con el cabello, no shirt, with the hair on top of my boobs like this. Así quiero que me vean.
Well, it's hilarious because a lot of the times we, as hairstylists, introduce you guys to hair extensions, and the first time you feel like, is this for me? Do I want it? And I always tell them, if you don't like them, come back in a week. Come back tomorrow, and I'll take them out.
Yeah.
But try them. You'll never know if you like them or not. And so then the clients that are the most afraid of extensions come back
Give
for
me
the
more.
first adjustment, right? And they're like, "Is there any place to just put a little bit more, or put them in as soon as you take them out?"
That's
Because you're
hilarious.
so used to,
Yes.
and then before you know
develop
it, you have them years on.
Yes.
When did you start using them?
So I used them, I want to say like 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Maybe like 18 years ago. I used them for about a year, and then I took them off. But it was, I want to say it was the ones that you were saying that had like glue or something.
yeah. It's
And
like
then-
they have to heat them up and they roll them onto your hair.
And when I took them off, one of the times that I saw my hair and I looked like La Chimoltrufia. Like it was bad. Like my hair like broke. It was bad. I didn't put them back on. And then years went by and then I did it again. After I had my son and my hair started thinning out a lot. I got them again, and I think I've had them now for like 8 years. So,
Same.
yeah, like same as you. I'm like, I don't know if I could go without them.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should take them off, and I'm like, no.
No, and they look good. Let me see.
You know, I'm
Look
like,
see, look at how good it looks. Turn
It's-
around so that people
it's-
can see the back. They look real. If they're done right and it blends into
That's
your
right.
color and you
Yeah.
can get your color,
Yes.
and they're easier to travel with.
yes, very easy to travel.
easier to
with.
travel. They're
Unless
really
you go to the beach.
Yeah.
I've heard
no, but ya no
horror
me meto- I
stories.
don't. I'm not
Oh,
getting
I've
in the
heard
water.
horror stories too.
stories about the
Right.
beach.
Like,
yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Like that they get tangled.
Yeah, and so sometimes you'll get these sort of
Well, but I mean, you just
dreadlocks.
braid it. I mean, like to get in the ocean.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I went scuba diving in the salt water. They fell off. Like I think some of
Right.
the ones, yeah, loosened up. But no, I mean,
See, and so that's actually not a bad
but
thing.
I did braid it. I did braid my hair, and then when I got out, I rinsed it right away and put conditioner. Some of them did slip out. This was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago when I
Right.
got certified
And-
for scuba dive.
You should never want extensions that never fall off.
Yeah.
So it's normal for one or two to fall off because
Yeah.
if they're not, they're probably being done a little too hard, and that's
Okay.
when your hair gets ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be very careful who you go to because it's very easy to do, but it's very hard to do correctly. So it's like you want to make sure they use a regular amount of your hair in order to support the weight of the extension. It doesn't rip your hair off, and then sometimes you end up with a little bit of breakage.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question, both of you. Are there things you think that age you? It could be hair, it could be beauty, it could be makeup, like as we age, that you see and you're like, here's my top 3 things that you see with beauty in your clients. So también piénsala.
I personally think too much makeup.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it, and I think I figured that out throughout the pandemic. I would watch TikTok. Like I don't have an actual like TikTok account where I post, but I would see a lot of reels, and I remember seeing Thalia, and looking at her makeup before and after from years ago, and then like now, and she would do very subtle makeup, and it would make her look so much younger. And I think she was doing that on purpose because she's been aging, and like from her lipstick to like everything was very light, very like you could barely see stuff, like kind of like highlighter, mascara, and lip gloss. Just like, and like a tint kind of
Right.
thing. Versus when she was younger and she would wear all this makeup, she looked older. Like just
Yeah.
very, I don't want to use the word grotesque, but it was like,
Just more
like very
harsh,
yes,
harsher,
exactly.
harsher. Yeah.
That's a word.
It
harsh.
can age you for sure. Makeup's a fine line. I think so too. Where I'm like, it can age you. Like too much eyeliner can age you. If you have too much eye and too much lips, you either do one or the
One or the
other.
other.
Right.
Lashes now that are too long.
Yeah.
Like I love a fake lash, but it ages you when it's not soft.
Right.
When
Yeah,
it's super
soft.
thick and it
Yes.
almost doesn't look wispy.
Yes. I think the look from like 4 or 5 years ago where it was too much everything, like eye makeup and it's ages you. And because I've started to do less is more, but that's a good one.
Right.
What's another one for you?
Eyebrows.
Oh,
I think eyebrows is such a big deal.
Absolutely.
And it just, you can tell, as we were saying, if somebody's stuck in a trend from a long time ago through their eyebrows.
oh my God.
And it's
that's
one of
a
those things
crazy
too,
one.
when you look at somebody and you can't help but stare, and you're like, if it was just a little bit wider here, a little bit thinner
Yeah.
here.
Eyebrows, I mean, they frame your eyes.
Yeah.
I removed,
hair.
yeah.
Right.
The
Yeah, that's right.
microblading, I think if it's too harsh, it'll make you look harsh and age you. And I removed mine. Now I just shade it in or whatever because I was like, in pictures and in video, I started to be like, it looks so unnatural, which ages you.
Right.
I removed lip filler. I removed cheek filler. I removed less is more. I stopped doing lashes. Like right now, I'm not even wearing lashes.
And
Normally
your
I do for the
eyelashes
show.
are pretty long.
I've been using
like natural.
this TikTok serum, but I don't know, one of those TikTok shop ones. But less is more, and it
Less is more.
less is more, right?
Really
Yeah.
Your eyelashes are really long.
They long, yeah. I just didn't
look
have
great.
time. Medio floja. I mean, it's a thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine.
No,
They
it
look
looks
good.
yeah,
Good,
they
yeah.
do, right?
But like you said, less is more makeup. Eyebrows too when they're too harsh or too
Right.
rough. I think for me, yeah. Let's see what's for me is too much filler. And I know this doesn't touch into it, but like I didn't realize, and I had to look at me like too much filler on anything. It just makes you look harsher and it ages you. And if you wonder, if you look at some like 20-year-olds,
That
it should be
have started
subtle.
to do
They've started to
everything,
do it,
yeah.
but they do too much. It should be a little bit. Even Botox, it'll age you.
Yes.
It makes you look older. You know what I mean? And I think now the trend is we're seeing it as like more natural and softer. Less is more. Would
And I
you
think
say
you're
that
even
with beauty
seeing- yes, and I think as
and
far
makeup
as,
too?
like now I have these girls who don't want the extreme hair color and they don't want to be blonde right away. They like their natural hair color and they just want to sort of accentuate it a little bit and they want it to look natural. And even their haircuts, they don't want crazy big layers. Like they just want a nice blowout with some nice
Just straight.
subtle letters.
Just
yeah,
straight.
yeah, it's not.
So is that like a biolash? Is that like kind of like subtle, like
Right,
what is
because you're not
in
changing
right now?
your natural color. Nothing's too close to your root. It all
Okay.
just, and it has different names everywhere. I mean, some people call it beachy hair, some people call it lived-in hair, some people
Okay.
call it balayage. It's just,
There you go.
at the end of the day,
you
it's
said
the
it
same
right.
thing with a bunch of different names.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's just finding what looks good on you. Sometimes I feel like it's a combination of a couple of things. I always tell people when or girls that come to me for the first time, it's like, you have a ton of highlights, but none of them have a purpose. And some hairstylists will just highlight like crazy everywhere. It's like, okay, but why are you putting that highlight there? Like you have a beautiful highlight around your face and it frames your eyes, your eyebrows. You have beautiful color, which matches your skin tone. So it's very, it's just about finding what works for you.
Can everybody wear every color? Like, can everyone be blonde? Can anyone be dark? I think dark is a hard color for everyone. It ages you.
Yes, it does. And it's very hard for somebody to have naturally black hair. It's not.
People don't, right?
People
No,
don't.
I know those
And
have
you
black
can
hair.
really tell because when somebody uses black hair color, it's really harsh.
And it ages you and it makes you look harsh.
Yes.
Harsh. Yeah, I agree.
I do think everybody can wear every color just because there's so many variations of it. So right now
That's
you were
right.
talking about red. Red is my favorite color to ever dye people's hair because there's so many things. You can be a copper red or you can be a violet red or a really red red. And it's just everybody.
How do you know if you're like with blondes?
Mm-hmm.
You could be a warm blonde, a honey blonde, a beige blonde. How do you know what color blonde?
It just
I
really.
tend to be more honey, more the warms.
Yes.
And yours, she's more cool, right?
Yes, you're more cool tone. And so if you look at both of your skin tones, you're pink. So like that cool doesn't wash you out. If you had really ashy hair, it might wash you out. But because you have nice warm skin, it just brings out those nice golden tones.
Have you seen on TikTok? It's TikTok's where I've seen it, I know. The color analysis.
Yes.
Have you seen those people who do the
No.
color analysis? Oh yeah, I'm gonna send you a
cool is
video.
that?
This lady like tells you what colors look good on you, like what
Yes.
shade of the color, and it's awesome. But she'll even tell you like with your hair or the jewelry, whether it's a cool red
Your
or
nails.
a warm red.
Yeah,
Yes. And she'll do like this red or this red, and you could see how one washes you out and the other one.
actually-
But even with hair color, right? It's
Right.
amazing how just a tone
Everything.
or the shade of the color can change how you look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes
it's
by
really-
either going a little warmer, a little more gold, a little more beige.
Right.
How do you know what'll look better on someone?
Honestly, after you've done this for just a while, you know what's going to wash somebody
What
out.
works
and what's going right. And so that's where your trust in us has to come in, because I have clients who come in and they're very certain about what they want, and they'll even just give me the exact formula, and I'll do it, and they hate it.
Oh, really?
That's
Why is that?
exactly what you told me. It's just
Because they probably looked at somebody else and then they
Right.
got their formula, and what looks good on you is not going to look necessarily good on
right.
me.
And so they'll come back the next time and they're like, okay, do whatever you think. They leave and they say, I should have just let you done whatever you wanted to do. And it's like, yes, I do this several hours a day, 5 days out of the week.
Yeah.
I see this every single day.
Yeah.
It's a trial and error. So it's you just sort of know what's going to look good on somebody. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's all color analysis, but perhaps it's just sort of backwired into my brain and I don't really think about it.
Are there changes that, or are there times where you have to tell people, okay, I'm not for that change? Well, like you said, if
Yes.
somebody wants to cut their hair just because I'm old, what are some other ones? That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. And it's just things, and sometimes people will get mad and they'll leave, and that's
Like what?
okay. It's just, so of course, people always come in and after they go through something, they just want bangs, right?
Oh, bangs. I've never been able to pull the bangs. And I see people and I love
The
it.
amount
I can't.
of bangs I had to fix after COVID was terrible. And so,
It's because people are bored at home and they're like, right?
well, everybody wants those cute little Anne Hathaway and the Devil Wears Prada bangs, but
Yes.
it just sometimes doesn't work that way. You know, kitchen scissors don't cut the same way. So then they come in and you have a paintbrush on your forehead. And
So you had
it's-
really bad bangs?
Yes. And so sometimes I understand that's a way of sort of letting some of your emotions out. And so I'll tell girls, I'm going to cut just enough for you to feel something, but not too much to where you're going to regret it.
That's all.
And sure enough, they come in and they say, I'm so glad you only cut this much because I can't work with them. I hate them and they're growing back.
Because you like them for a week and then after that
Right.
you're like, ya me cansé de ellas.
Have you had bangs before?
Yes, and I haven't in a long time. Probably in my 20s when I was
I
wilder with my hair.
think when we were in college, maybe once you
Yeah,
had them. But
I
you know how to style your hair good. You're like good at
But I
at
like
it.
them for a week and then me canso de ellas and I'm wearing them
Yeah.
to the side. I think exactly
I've always
that.
wanted that like perfect little, like
French
one of my
bang,
sisters has had bangs and she can pull it. They look great on her. I have tried and no bueno.
And like you said, we have those friends that you know that bangs is their thing. And
Yeah.
they look great.
They look
And you're almost a little jealous because it's
Yes.
like I wish they would look just as good on me, but it's just there's a certain forehead for bangs.
So what is that forehead?
Yes.
Like I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be like kind of rounded, like a little. And my little sister that wears a bangs has that
so they
little.
can have a place to just sort of lay on.
Like-
Otherwise, they're just sort of flat.
Yeah,
Did
like I
she
have a flat.
always have bangs or she did them herself and just stuck with it?
She's had them in different times, but
Like when you guys were little girls, did your mom Did you all have bangs? Because figure there's
I
people with bangs or no bangs. You never have. Even as a little girl.
I have curly hair,
Okay,
so I
okay.
have to blow
Yeah.
dry it, and then it I don't know, it doesn't go with my
So your mom
forehead.
didn't cut bangs on you guys. She just did it, and then your sister got.
And no, my parents were like, everything slicked back, as tight as possible, you know. But she had it. My little sister had bangs. When I tried them since I was little, like they never worked for me.
Yeah.
And even later, like trying to get like somebody to style them, and no, they never worked for me. But they look really good on her.
Yeah.
But I feel like most people that have bangs have like a round forehead. Like mine's flat, so they don't work.
It's hard. It's hard. And then it's not just bangs. Then you have to figure out what sort of bang style fits you.
Yes.
And the part, like you kind of have that side part, and so like even the bangs aren't going to fall because your hair gets used to when you
Right.
train it from like side part to middle part.
And I think one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is how you were saying, I have curly hair. So the texture of your hair really matters in the way not everybody's as talented as you. You've learned how to do your own hair.
And makeup.
Yes.
And so I haven't seen you do your hair, but I'm sure you're on TV
I'm
too, so you
terrible.
can do it. But I've seen
I
you do
can
your
blow
hair,
dry
and
it,
it's
but
just-
not
You
do
can
the
do
whole,
it. Te peinas muy bien.
the whole
So
thing.
that's another one of my questions when I have a new client. It's what can you do to your hair
That's
that you're
true.
going to be able to work
That's
with?
true.
Because
If you can't do it yourself.
right, you look great coming out, and then when you wash your hair for the first time, you're crying, and your hairstylist asking me, "How do I style this?" And so that's also very important. That's a good thing to keep in mind.
I love that you said the bangs, how many bangs you had to fix. Are people still asking for bangs? I feel like right now, for a while, like the curtain bangs and then the shags were coming in.
Yeah.
Right now is the bob. No? What are people coming in? Are you
yeah,
getting a lot
what's
of
the
bobs?
trend for this year?
No, so like I said, I will keep my clients away from trends. So everybody will change a little. I have had clients cut a lot of bangs lately, and it's sort of a combination between like regular bangs and a little bit curtainy. So they're really cute. And so you even cut this hair
Yeah,
around your face.
here,
So if
yes.
you pick it up, this wraps around and it looks very sort of, you saw Kim Kardashian's hair when she put it up. Apart from that, everybody's just trying to stay really natural.
Yeah.
People
I
are
feel like
done-
that's where the trend is going. Like we were overdone just 5 years ago. And I feel, even with injectables, but that's not what this show's about, or this podcast's about. But I feel like now the trend is very natural. Less is more.
Right.
Even like softer everything, which is good. And for me, my own journey is that less is more. Like you said, less makeup, less more natural hair,
Yes.
softer everything. But still, wear whatever you want. Like if you like something, freaking wear it. Que te valga, you know.
Yeah, if you feel comfortable.
And just because I don't get into, although I have caught myself saying I'm too old to wear something like this. But no, says who? Says who? Like an
Right.
age should not define what you wear, how you dress, how short your skirt is. Ponte lo que quieras.
If you can pull it off, you can
Absolutely,
pull it off.
absolutely. And I'll wear whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
It
that's
makes
the
you
most
happy.
fabulous thing ever. I was at a party yesterday and there was an 80-year-old lady with the best outfit, the best hair, and she looked great. And
Yeah.
she felt great. And she
Well, that's exactly
That's
what
it.
she projected,
Yeah.
probably,
Right.
right?
And you wear the outfit doesn't wear you.
Exactly.
And the same thing with the hair. But I do like that we age better because we get to wear, like, the way we dress is ageless. You know, it's not like you hit an age and not the cortas, like the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Exactly. You're not gonna get a perm and cut your hair into a cute little
No.
cotton candy. No, it's
Yeah.
you know.
We get to still look amazing and feel
Right.
amazing and define our style at any age, right?
And if you have great hair, then do it.
And you can wear it long.
And now you can have great hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And you don't have to cut it. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you can wear it long.
yeah, it's awesome.
You're right. Demi Moore looks fabulous, with that
fabulous.
long hair.
Yeah.
Because it's her signature look.
Uh-huh.
And
I think she looks better than when she was younger.
yeah.
She looks amazing.
And she kind of updated it. Like it's just a more updated look.
I think it's just all a part of that whole trial and error to see what really fits you. And then eventually you get to a place where it's like, okay, I tried it, it was fun, but it didn't work. So now this is what works.
If you had a friend who was stuck in a decade, would you tell him? Look at Their size.
I think it's a very difficult thing to do because
All my friends are fabulous, so I don't think they have great style. I think if I have
I think everybody has a great style of their own, but
we all know those people that are frumpy.
it's been a while, but I used to have a friend that I used to be like, oh my God, I want to, like, she would do like really dark lip liner and then really light lipstick. And I wanted to fade it. Like, I wanted to like,
to blend. You're
yes,
like, blend.
yes.
Blend.
But she liked it.
Yeah, to each their own. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll have more hot topics on the next show.
For sure.
Oh, this was a good one.